Hey everybody, this is Mark from SixFiveTurboGarage.com. I wanted to talk a little bit about something that you don't normally think about, and that's starter bolts. Most people don't know about this little minor fact on these, but when you're changing your starter out, which you will do, there's most starters available are pretty much crap. Although I got 3 years out of this last O'Reilly one, and I've got an O'Reilly just because I travel for work. I used to travel a lot for work, and I needed something that would be readily available, and I got the lifetime warranty one. I keep my receipts. It's pretty easy, just keep it in a manila envelope, nothing fancy. And boy, I just go in there, show them the receipt, they give me a new one, I walk out the door. It's pretty easy. So even though you may not get the service out of them that you think, to me it's worth it. Like I said, I got 3 years out of this last one. And changing them is really not that big of a deal when you take your time. And look at my video that I've done to see how the starter change out is on that. Anyway, on the starter bolts, the issue is twofold, one more than the other. You can't really see it on here, but they can get stretched. And also, this is the most important part, and that is that the knurling on them can get flattened out. And these knurls are needed to center the bolt and get the starter aligned properly. So if you don't have the healthy knurls on these, then you can cause some problems later on down the line, and you'll be replacing your starter again. The gears won't mesh properly, or you can have other issues. So replacing the bolts is pretty cheap for just regular old bolts, and it's super simple to put them in and out. They're right there when you're changing your starter out. So go ahead and get some bolts. Now, most of you know about Leroy, and down in Texas, he's got just darn near everything you need for your truck, and unparalleled service as far as the parts that he sells and information that he has is real world. He's a 6.5 owner himself, and he does a lot on these motors, and there's few people that know more about them than he does. And his website, LeroyDiesel.com, he's got more parts available than what is on his site. One of the ones that I passed up several times is these ARP bolts. I like ARP. They're probably one of the top quality bolts that are available for automotive use. Obviously, most people have heard of them in the racing circles, and the quality is unparalleled. So I went ahead and I finally ordered some of these from Leroy, and I got them in about, oh gosh, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, and that was over the weekend. So quick as usual. And so what you're going to see on these is most ARP bolts, I think all, not sure. I don't have a lot. I've got the head studs, and then these, and some exhaust bolts as well. But you're going to see fresh knurls, of course, on these, and I think it's 180,000 psi tensile strength on these. So again, the strength, they sure are pretty, but they won't stay that long. But you see the difference is they got the 12-point socket head on these, and on the starter bolt, that's not nearly as important, but on an exhaust manifold, the flange going into your downpipe, your cross pipe and your downpipe there, it matters a lot because of the head size. But anyway, the ARP bolts are unparalleled. In my ARP head stud install, I've got the availability of a video there that shows how they make the ARP bolts and all their studs and everything, and you can get an idea of their quality. But these will last, I'm hoping, forever. Again, I'll just have to keep an eye on the knurls and see if they wear out like the old ones do with higher quality steel. I'm hoping that they won't. And also the stretching hopefully won't happen as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in my from my starter install. And the torque values on these are higher, obviously, on the ARP products. But the factory manual calls for 35 foot-pounds on the through bolts there. So torque them down to 35 foot-pounds as the factory recommends. I'm going to use a little bit of anti-seize I try to use anti-seize on just about all my nuts and bolts, and boy, does it make a difference on these old trucks that you actually drive. And I'm in the Northwest, so things get rusty. Not nearly as bad as in the Rust Belt over on the East Coast and other places in the U.S., but we certainly get our share of rust around here, so the anti-seize really helps out on these. So anyway, ARP starter bolts from Leroy.com. LeroyDiesel.com, sorry about that. You won't get a better quality one than these. Hopefully it'll be a last time you have to replace them.